Chuchi. Oh.
And that rain is kicking.
Yeah. It's a lot of rain today.
All right, we'll see if we get there.
Ow, don't bite me.
What's up, Sub-Zero? Rainy day.
He's like, yes, it is.
Ready to log in?
Yeah.
Let's go. It seems like in the morning I'm like a slow starter, right? You ever feel that way? It's like a slow starter.
No, mornings are good for me. I do better. I'm a if you want to beat me, you have to play me at night because I'm a terrible night person.
Yeah, and this is true.
I am done at night.
Yeah, if we play, if Carla and I play matches,
yeah.
If we play in the morning, she wins, and if it's in the evening, it's much more competitive.
Absolutely.
All right, self-motivation 101. Let's go.
I feel like we have a lot of shadow or something. We didn't have that yesterday. But
okay. It's a cloudy day outside, okay. And I have that shade shut so I can open it.
Gotcha. No, that's okay.
All right, you ready to go?
I'm ready to go.
All right, hello and welcome back to another 5K tennis discussion. Again, if there is any sound issues, any audio issues, the video lags, let us know in comments and we can restart it. Again, we live on an island where the internet at times can be suspect, to say the least. Don't forget that with a couple of the losses, namely Zverev the other day, that everyone that played for the $500 cash is out. With that said, we will be rolling that $500 over to Roland Garros. So all of you will have another shot at that $500, even though Nadal and Djokovic will be there. So I think it'll be a little bit easier to predict, especially on the men's side, as it was this Australian Open. I will still keep it that 500. We raised it to 500 because we knew it would be so difficult here. But we'll keep it there for Roland Garros. Carla, quick fantasy team leaderboard update.
Sure. By the way, I like your comment, Josh. Sinner, please beat Tsitsipas. I agree with you. I want Tsitsipas to go down. All right. Top leaders of the fantasy group. Stefan Snežević, right?
Stefan Knežević.
What?
Knežević. He's in Serbia. He's a baller at the fantasy team competitions. He's always on the leaderboard and is solely in first place by a pretty good ways. But if you look at the mathematics, it is still possible for him to be caught. But again, the top two will receive the same thing. So there's two winners here. So
we're going to have to break some ties.
Yeah.
There. He's at 82. Furzio 9, 74. Tom Chi, 74. Kalk, 74. So there's three people that are tied in second place. Hunze, 73. And Ikongi, 73. So there's a lot of ties here.
Let's go.
I got to look at their fantasy groups and see what's different and what's going to break them away from being tied.
Yeah, and I would have to ask Thomas Chi, but I'm thinking Stefan Knežević and the likes of this leaderboard selected a lot of 2-point players. And usually in situations like these where it's been kind of upset here, upset there, generally those players tend to win. All right. Thanks again to Thomas Chi and Gene Swart for running the scoring. They're both international, one South Africa, one Canada, and they've done an excellent job. Hopefully, you will do it again for us for Roland Garros, and I think we already paid one of them, didn't we?
Yes, we paid Gene Swartz.
Yes, so Gene Swart, we paid you yesterday. Thomas Chi, just let us know when, where, how, and we'll do it immediately. All right, starting today's show on one note that we forgot to say something yesterday, and I wrote this morning. We had a little bit more time to prepare, and Carla did her thing. I did my thing, and there was something that I thought that we forgot to mention, or at least I. So for 4 years on this channel, I've given shit to any player that smashes a racket, and I forgot to mention on yesterday's show that Zverev smashed his racket. In his match against, who was he playing? Shapovalov during that match, I think. Anyway, a prime example of your shitty sportsmanship. Hate to see a racket being smashed. There are a plethora of children or people, shape, size, whatever, that would love a new racket. I still am a proponent of creating some type of donation bucket on the side of the court, where as if a player smashes a racket before he or she thinks about putting it in the bucket to donate, then maybe he has to give up one of his other new rackets in his bag. So you're down 2 rackets in your bag as you walk on the court. I don't know. But it's a really shitty thing. And we'll talk about Shapovalov as well, smashing a racket here shortly.
I think I could give him more of a pass on that. He was frustrated by a lot of things.
Yes.
So, I mean, Justin, when you get frustrated and you're upset and you could have probably won the match and that last volley kind of really sucked ass, I think you would have thrown your racket at that point.
Is that some of the reason why I blew out my patellar tendon?
Probably. So you
'Cause I
can
was
give
a
him
little
a pass
upset.
on that because he smashed the racket at match point knowing what was in stake, what transpired through the match. I think you would have done the same thing.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Yeah.
Bad injuries can happen when you're upset. That's
Mhm.
I mean, really and truly, I think that's what happened to me. I was upset during a match 2 years ago, and things got out of hand quickly. Anyway, I did want to bring up the racket thing and end it with this: that Nick Kyrgios, by the way, gave a racket to a kid that was in the audience during his doubles match with Kokkinakis. By the way, they're in the semifinals, so good for them and good for Australia.
Yep. They're going against Ceballos and Granollers, the third seed.
Marcos Granollers,
Mhm.
he's been around a long time.
Yeah.
But yes, very, very good for them. It's gonna Granollers has been a long time tennis player. He was back in the Verdasco days, and what was the guy's name that was he started getting overweight, but he was a top Spanish player for a while. Spanish guy. He was always in the thick of it with Ferrer.
Was he a one-handed backhand?
Yeah.
Almagro.
Nicholas Almagro.
Yeah.
Yes. But anyway, the racket that Nick Kyrgios gave to a kid in the audience. I wanted to ask everyone an objective question. I want you to think about this. And I get it. It's a little bit different of a situation, but let me ask everybody this question, and please answer this honestly. Okay. Look yourself in the mirror and answer this question. During the Nick Kyrgios and Kokkinakis match, Nick Kyrgios tapped a ball, okay, and it went into the crowd and it hit a kid in the face, or in the head. Okay. No big deal. Kid laughed about it. No big deal. Nick Kyrgios saw that and brought the child a brand new racket. Here you go. And the kid was so happy.
Mm-hmm. It was worth it.
However, during the U.S. Open, and I hate to beat a dead horse, but during the U.S. Open, Novak Djokovic tapped a ball and hit a lady in the throat. Granted, the lady was a really good actor, and she went down like a sack of potatoes and got back up. Do you think, A, if Novak Djokovic would have given her a racket, that everything would have been good? Or B, even though it's contextually a little bit different, isn't there still a ball striking someone in the upper jugular? And is it not true that one got disqualified and one was the centerpiece of Australian tennis? Is this?
I'm laughing because I'm thinking about the.
Is it not true that again, if I'm a high-paid attorney, I can plead my case. I get it that no one cares here, whatever. But I'm telling you, two people were struck in the grill with a ball. One gave him a racket, one fell down, and that's his. Oh, I mean, I've done it a couple times. I don't want to beat a dead horse there either. But you got to admit, there was an episode of the show Seinfeld where Kramer had to try out to be a ball boy, and he was like ducking. Get some. I ducked all that, right? Lady gets a ball and it's like slow motion, like Matrix. She's like, ugh. Freaking falls out. Like, lady missed it.
Your hair when you're like.
All right.
Oh man, look, he shaved. Much better.
All right. Anyway.
Much better.
Okay. But true or false that the premise is the same. Two people got hit. It was
again,
cool.
The reason why is anything. If your name is Novak, you're screwed. Novak screwed.
Okay.
Kyrgios, you're fine, especially in Australia. Novak, you're so screwed.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's been robbed. I agree with you. Yang Hao, he's been robbed of 2 Grand Slams. I totally agree.
Oh, yeah. Djokovic has been El Roberto many times. He should change his name to Roberto because he gets robbed all the time.
He just needs to come into a Grand Slam with a different name. Just not a Serbian name. Something different.
Roberto Djokovic.
No, I wouldn't even put the Djokovic on there.
Yeah.
Change it completely.
Show up. My name's Tom Jones.
There you go.
Let's go. And then he can just play with a different flag.
There we go.
Born again. However, Djokovic wouldn't do that.
We'll talk about that, Gene. We'll talk about that.
All right. And by the way, squashing the racket smashing opening, Shapovalov blasted one in the 5th set after taking too long. Tsitsipas is daddy, seemingly genetically in the tennis world context. Shapovalov blasts a racket on match point after it was over, before he approached the net and shook Rafa aka thumb in the book.
You got the hiccups?
We got a lag.
You got the hiccups. I know what that
We got a lag.
Here, let me look.
Yeah, we gotta watch the lag there. It's back. All right. Yeah, track it there and see. If there was a lag, and it might be lagging now, very sorry.
Mm-hmm.
So we're throwing the timeout flag. I thought you were on it.
Let's see. No, I haven't. I don't
Is
have
it
it on
lagging?
my phone. I don't have it on my phone. But
Is
I
it
can
lagging?
I can put it on my phone. Hold on. Give me a second.
And Gene Swart makes a really good comment here. He said,
Yeah, we'll talk about that.
Gene Swart says, do you think the top guys get preferential treatment all the time? That is one of our first, one of our next segments. But check the,
I'm trying to.
we're kind of halting because I think it might be glitching.
Okay, well, there you go. There's your answer. You just asked.
It's not glitching?
No, it's not glitching. Can you stop trying to bite me?
All right. So we can move forward then.
Yes, he says it's good for me.
Okay. Where did I leave off?
We're talking about, we were talking about
the Nadal match.
The Nadal match.
Yes.
Yeah, I've got a lot of stuff down here. By the way, I went to sleep once I saw the first set. First set was 6-3. I'm like, oh, Nadal's got this. You know, I was watching how kind of Shapo was playing. Seemed to me like Shapo was playing in the first set like Shapo usually does, not showing up, you know? So I thought Nadal would cruise in 3 sets. Then I wake up around 1 something in the morning or 2. And then while bing, bing, my messenger goes off. He's like, I can't believe it. 5 sets. We're going to 5 sets. Now, I could not believe it too. I looked at the score.
Is it glitching? It's glitching on my computer.
Justin, it's fine. Everybody's telling you it's fine.
Oh, I don't. It's not doing it up here.
But it's doing it here.
Okay. All right. Anyway, go ahead.
Okay. Anyways, shocking that it went to 5 sets. Shocking that it took 4 hours and 8 minutes to get this match done. I thought personally, Nadal should have finished this in 3 sets or 4 at the most. I got to watch the 5th set.
Again, for me, the match was a typical Nadal match. A lot of time was given. A lot of preferential treatment was given.
Well,
a lot. I mean, look, if you add up how long it takes him, and this isn't the first time Nadal's been the centerpiece of taking too much time. Is there anything new about Nadal taking a lot of time?
Before we get on Nadal, and I do agree with Shapo, by the way, what he said. I felt bad for Shapovalov. I really did. But come on. Djokovic is one of those players that takes a lot of time, takes bathroom breaks. Tsitsipas is one of those players that take a lot of time. Federer's called his timeouts, medical timeouts as well. Do they receive special treatment? I think Denis Shapovalov was right about that. The top guys do receive special treatment. Do I think they've earned it? Probably, because they've won so many slams. Do I think it's fair?
But
no.
Yeah.
But anyways, I listened to the interview. Denis Shapovalov was obviously frustrated. Apparently, Nadal on the first set took a bathroom to go change his clothes. Okay, and apparently the umpire Bernardo, I guess called 30 seconds or whatever. He called a time violation or something. Said a time violation was going to be whatever. From what I listened to the Nadal interview, he said that someone went with him to the bathroom because that is the new rule since Stefanos Tsitsipas, the sissy boy, has taken advantage of this. Then now someone goes with them to the bathroom and tells them 3 minutes left, 2 minutes left, 1 minute left. And he says, someone went with me as I was changing my clothes, telling me how much time I had because that is the new rule because of what Stefanos Tsitsipas did. He said it in his interview.
I love it. Have you noticed, and this Carla is on a roll right here. Have you noticed that the gist of us have now begun to pronounce sissy ass? Okay, go ahead. Finish. I'm enjoying this one.
So he's like, you're very sticky. You need to change your clothes. He said, and you need extra time, and I had to change, and so I took 30 seconds extra, and Bernard was right for giving me the extra time. Anyways, he walks in, blah, blah, blah. Then 4th set, apparently he has some type of stomach issue. Medical timeout. This is where Denis Shapovalov was bitching like a little baby. He said the medical timeout.
Don't lose the energy. But Shapovalov was correct.
He is correct, but how many times have we said that players abuse this? Many times. They abuse it. I agree with Denis Shapovalov. They abuse it. The problem is not that he called medical timeout. The problem is that then he took a bathroom break right after that. So you called a medical timeout and then you took a break, which breaks someone's rhythm, especially someone who just The fourth set, he's winning, right? It breaks your rhythm.
Yeah. Okay. But so I get that. And that's flawed. It's not it's within the rules, but it's sissy ass, right?
It is sissy ass.
Okay. So with
that should be the new rule. Sissy ass.
And I love this from Jesus Cruz Haba. He says, without a doubt. Okay. So with this said, the problem for me is this. And Shapovalov says it, quoting, he says, I go to the bathroom and I have an entourage following me. 3 minutes, 2 minutes,
no,
1 minute.
That's what Nadal said.
Or Nadal, whoever.
Nadal said
but didn't one of them at one point allude to that wasn't as forced as much, or there's no one in but what I'm saying, hasn't that been an argument for a long time of preferential treatment?
Of sissy ass. Now they are all followed to the bathroom by someone.
Exactly.
And Nadal said that. So I didn't break a rule there, he said.
That's okay. So it's within the rules, yes.
Okay, he said I didn't break because I had someone follow me and tell me as I was changing how much time I had left. He said in his interview, he said, I think Shapovalov is wrong here. Secondly,
it sounds like he was crying like a sissy ass.
They asked him,
what do you think? Saying it sounds like he was crying.
No, they asked him, what do you think of Denis Shapovalov's response?
Well, I get it, but it's you said Shapovalov was crying like a sissy bitch. What about Nadal keeping talking too? He's running his trap too. Well, he could have just said, well, I thank you very much for the question, but I don't want to talk about it. And
he defended himself. Okay, so then they asked Shapovalov. He said he takes a medical timeout. He's got stomach cramp, and then he goes to the bathroom. He's like, not only am I competing against the best in the world, he says, I'm competing against the umpire and I'm competing against these time limits. He says every other match, it was quick. This took an hour and a half just to get to a third and fourth set. He said, I'm not taking anything away from Rafa. He's one of the best. I'm not saying that. He's just saying there has to be some boundaries. Yeah, and I agree with him.
Yeah, and by the way, this also goes forward. These breaks help Nadal out moving forward. Whereas if you look at Monfils playing Berrettini and then they went 5 sets, there wasn't some drama of a bunch of breaks. Nadal seemingly gets a lot more rest in these 5 setters than others, right? So Nadal, by the way, is an expert at taking too much time. Is this the first time we've heard of this?
No, but he's not the only one. So then what I thought was very cringe to me was Jim Courier says, oh, Nadal, he's like, the fourth set, you got a stomach cramp, you called a medical timeout. What kind of tablets were those?
Well, he said it was for his stomach. His stomach is upset.
Yeah, but he said, what kind of tablets did you take?
So like Rolaids or something?
He didn't give an answer. He kind of ran around the question, and I was like, huh? What did he say? He didn't answer the question. He said, well, yeah, my stomach. He said, yeah, they gave me some tablets. He said, anyways, I feel better. I was like, whoa.
Well, look, okay.
Obviously, it's like Djokovic when they bring him his tablets.
No. That's why I was going to stop it because I don't think Rafa was trying to get pain tablets. I think he was trying to get stomach tablets. I'm taking up for your boy here.
I'm not a
Rafa fan. I don't think he was hunting for painkillers because that's not going to help your stomach.
You can tell when Nadal lies and doesn't lie, and I felt like he was lying.
The post-match interview.
My thing was that I don't think he had a stomach issue.
The post-match interview.
Yes.
You remember that?
Yeah, I don't think he had a stomach issue. When I looked at him answer Jim Courier, I thought, well, he kind of ran around the question and said like 10 different things that made no sense to the question that Jim Courier asked.
I got a question.
Which left me question mark.
I got a question. Do you think that Jim Courier sticks his nose further up Nadal's ass than Nadal sticks his own thumb up his ass when he interviews them? How much brown nosing is there that Jim Courier allots the thumb of Nadal?
A lot.
I tell you what, when the post-match interview comes and I have to watch Jim Courier, which again I love as a tennis player, nice guy, whatever. But when he interviews Nadal, it seems like he just wants to give him a kiss or something.
Maybe
it's kind of cringy.
Metrosexual.
Oh no!
But anyways, it left me, scratching my head. Yes, I think Shapo could have won the match, but I think he should have won the match with his racket. If you are mentally strong, you will win the match. Someone like Djokovic would have overcome that. He's had people boo him, try to do different things during the match. And he still wins the matches. He's got a lot to learn, I think, in my opinion. You could tell that Nadal was pretty much done on the 5th set. You could tell he's a lot older, and he's getting 2 days. Berrettini played 5 sets as well with Monfils, so I think it's going to be pretty even.
Look, Nadal as a 20-time major winner. I'm not a huge fan, but you can't take away that he's arguably one of the best players of all time. and that I don't think that anyone left in the tournament. I don't think attitude that he has. The question is how much gas will he have left in the tank in the last 2 rounds? Nadal plays Berrettini, correct?
Bartee.
And we're going to talk about that. But I wouldn't doubt that Nadal gets his 21st major here. I mean, why not? I mean, okay, Medvedev might, have a shot, but look, Medvedev's going to return serve 37 feet behind the baseline, and Nadal has variety. So it's going to be hard for Medvedev to beat Nadal way back there. And Nadal damn well knows if he wins this tournament that he is a very likely finals contender. Notice I didn't say winner, finals contender for Roland Garros, right? So he's gonna put everything in his body into this one, and he's got enough breaks along the way to do it, right? Okay, so
listen, Chopper.
Hey, Chopper,
chill out.
All right, so here we go. Okay, so here's the thing. By popular request, Carla and I are bringing back a segment that we've done from time to time, and that is 20 rapid fire questions. However, this is going to be done differently and basically navigate us through the next I don't know, half hour or so. Okay. We don't have to answer them so rapidly. We can talk about them together, but they're all very relevant to what we've been talking about and furthermore, right? Mm-hmm. All right. So Carla, I have not mentioned these to her. Obviously not to you, but answer these questions in due time. If you answer it, we'll say, hey, this is what they said. All right, here we go. Question number 1. Are you ready? Mm-hmm. Okay. Again, we'd love to see your answers. Okay. Question number 1. Carla and all of you, what has the best part of this Australian Open been so far?
To me, it has been Madison Keith's story.
Okay.
To me, it has because
why?
Why? Because last year it was a shitty year for her. She mentioned she got COVID. She couldn't win a match. It was just terrible. Sometimes I ask myself, why is she still playing tennis? It doesn't look like she's enjoying herself. She couldn't find a rhythm. I thought she was done. Everybody would say Madison Keys doesn't have the keys to the match or something like that. I think Ying Hao.
How many times have we heard that?
A lot. So I think to see her beat Krejcikova the way she did, impressive. I'm happy. I'm happy for her. To me, that is the most exciting part because I feel like if she can play that way, she could win. We're always on regular Wi-Fi, Michael Walker. We're not on whatever MiFi.
Is it bad?
No, I can see it here.
Is it glitching?
I don't know. We live on the island. We don't live in New York.
Mike, is it glitching?
I can see it. You can see it.
Yeah, I'm trying to keep up with it. I hope it's okay. Again, we always apologize if the video quality is bad. We're going to move to Mobile soon enough, and it'll be better there. So we're actively looking for that opportunity to move. We just have to find the right place. Mm-hmm. Anyway, but yes, I agree. Madison Keys. She has been there, done that. She, I'm sure, wants to avenge her 2017 loss to Sloane Stephens in the final of the U.S. Open, or was it 20? I think it was 2017. Wrong. She had something like 11 or 12 wins throughout the whole year, and I think she has 11 wins already, and it's just beginning 2022. I may have that off, but I thought I heard a commentator on the Tennis Channel saying that, maybe Anacone, and maybe I misunderstood it. But yeah, it's been an exciting part. I do think that Ashley Bartee is going to have a lot to say about that. Bartee has variety. She can mix it up. Killed her. She can hit the ball big. She can hit the ball soft. She can think. She can compete. She has poise. She has humility. She has grace. She has grace. She has the whole package. It's going to be very difficult to beat Bartee. I think the only thing that's going to beat Bartee in this tournament is the curse of the Australian winning their own major. However, Andy Murray was the Brit that finally broke the curse of Fred Perry being the last Briton or Englishman to win Wimbledon, 6, 7, 8 years ago, or however long it's been, and he did it twice. So with that said, do you think that Bartee can finally break the curse and actually win a major by an Australian woman when it actually counts and not back when Margaret Court was playing only basically Australians?
The way she looked to me, relaxed, and that's what I've talked about in tennis. You need variety. She has it. I was watching. The way she looked to me, relaxed, and that's what I've talked about in tennis. You need variety. She has it. I was watching. She she killed Pegula with her slice. Killed her. Would bring her up to the net, and I mean, she played beautiful. I think she can win it. But if she doesn't win, I'm hoping that Keys wins it.
You know, I'm with you. Okay. If anybody wants to answer that, speak on. What's up, Joanna Sa? Great to see you out there. Michael Walker, as always. Yin Halcour, Jesus, Cruz Caba, Sergeant Jovanovic. What's up? Gene Swart. Question number 2. All right, here we go. What has the worst part of this Australian Open been?
The whole Djokovic could have just told him, hey, dude, just got to come vaccinated and you'll be all right, man. And that's it.
No need to elaborate. Agree with you totally. The second worst thing, though, even though it was a different context, it's just that a rule is a damn rule. At first it was the Djokovic thing, but once again, it involves Djokovic. So again, I said this at the beginning of this show, you know, jokingly as it was versus a different situation. Kyrgios hits a ball, bounces off the ground, goes into the crowd and hits a young kid in the face. You know, not hard. I get it. And Kyrgios is Australian. He runs a new racket over to the kid, and you know, no one even talks about it. Lest we forget, not terribly long ago, Novak Djokovic was disqualified from the U.S. Open, get lost for kind of the same. Just saying. And then Shapovalov said it correctly. Man, you guys are all corrupt. But is there anything new underneath the sun and the world in which we live?
He did look cute in this interview.
Corruption.
I felt for him. I was like, damn.
Corruption is abound. Watch out. Know who your friends are.
But it's, come on. That's in life too.
Keep your enemies.
The rich get away with stuff.
Keep your enemies closer.
The poor pay the price for whatever misdemeanor they have. Yes. And that is the truth. That is factual. It's like if you go to a private school. If your parents are in with whoever is in charge of the private school, they'll get away with stuff. If not, you're screwed.
Yes.
I mean, it's anything in life.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah.
Very well said, Carla.
Yes.
Number 3.
Stop it.
Sub-Zero is doing big things. Okay.
Bite me.
Question number 3. And this is a deep question. Think about this one. Is this quarterfinal appearance by Gao Monfils? We know he lost to Berrettini, respectively, 5-setter. He looked a little bit tired at the end, though. But that's been his mental tactic to his opponent for quite a while since he was young. Anyway, is this quarterfinal appearance for Gao Monfils about the farthest in a major he can go anymore? Yes. Let me remind you, he made 2 Australian Open quarterfinals, one being this year, 1 French Open semifinal. That was way back in like 2008, I think. 1 4th-round appearance at Wimbledon and a semifinal at the U.S. Open. Is this about the best as we're going to see moving forward?
He had no gas left in the tank in the 5th set. You know, that was pretty much old Berrettini there. Yeah, I think so. I think his body's finally giving in. I mean, good run though. Good for him. Bravo. He's got tons of money. You know, too bad that he didn't put 100% into it. You know, Zverev might want to think about his comment.
Do you think Gao Monfils and Elena Svitolina would make a good mixed doubles team? Could they win a major in mixed doubles?
He's flashy. He's flashy. He knows how to play the net. Absolutely.
Yeah. I mean, we tend to forget that there are majors and doubles, mixed doubles, a quad wheelchair, so forth. So we tend to forget that. I do hope that Kyrgios and Kokkinakis win. For sure.
And by the way, Michael Walker, yes, I noticed that Kyrgios wears that vest.
That's a question.
Vest. He wears a vest. Why do you wear a vest when it's so freaking
hot?
Michael Walker
just write that?
No, I know why.
You guys think very much alike.
Because he's got some belly under there. So with the vest, you can hide it. Dude, chill out. You can hide it. If you look at Kokkinakis, he wears the shorter shorts, the tighter shirt. That's because he works out. Homeboy works out. And the other homeboy, he's not. So he's got to hide it with a vest. Terrible look, by the way, to play with a vest when it's hot.
Okay. This is very coincidental, and I'll show it to you. Look at number 4. If you can see question number 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. It says Nick Kyrgios on there. All right. Anyway, you guys were just talking about the same thing. Question number 4, Carla, Mike, all you. Is Nick Kyrgios currently wearing a baggy vest to cover up his belly?
Absolutely.
Now, with that said, do you think that if he got in shape, like actually tried to get into shape, that he would be a better player? Or do you think he's just a subpar player anyway, no matter how good a shape he was in, and he's just an actor on the court that draws sponsorships and crowds by simply acting?
No, I think.
Or is he a really good player? And if he did get in shape, he would be an elite player? Or is his mentality, i.e. tactics, or i.e. patience and humility and sportsmanship and poise and grace, the overall package, the intellectual it takes to become a tennis player is just not quite where it is. So,
I think if he got in better shape, he could play longer matches. William Spencer, you're right. If I think if his honey told him, hey, baby, I'm looking good for you. Can you start getting in shape, please? Maybe she needs to motivate him to get in shape. If you get in shape in tennis, you're a better tennis player. You can go longer in matches. You don't have to go for stupid trick shots because you're not in shape.
But the trick
I
shot,
think half of the time he does trick shots because he can't get to the ball.
that's part of his act.
No, I think
how does a tweener in between the legs on a second
lazy.
serve? How does
lazy.
that? No, it's just called you're trying to sell.
Yeah, but have you
you're
noticed
trying to sell tickets.
How about sometimes when he's just hitting the ball, he just kind of chips it. He can't get to it. He just chips it. Because.
Has anyone noticed has anyone noticed has anyone noticed in society today that kids, for some reason, at least the kids whose parents allow them to do so, not how we roll, look up to some of these people these days. I'm not saying, I didn't mean that in terms of Kyrgios, but some of these people whose mindset is to screw the world and blow it up, or let's act like an idiot. Let's F the police or whatever. It sells tickets these days to be a buffoon, right? Right?
Yeah.
So he's just selling tickets. I'm not saying Nick Kyrgios is a bad guy, and I wasn't making that statement in relevance to Nick Kyrgios himself. No, I actually kind of like Nick Kyrgios, but it's not hard to sell tickets anymore to a hideous display of anything. That's all I'm saying. Am I right or wrong?
Right.
Okay. Yes, he's wearing a vest to cover up the beer belly. That's plain and simple. Okay. He doesn't want to be all over his Instagram page with the pot belly sticking out, right?
You gonna bite daddy's finger?
All right. Question number 5. Are you ready? Can Madison Keys avenge her U.S. Open finals loss to Sloane Stephens? Yes, it was in 2017, and win this Australian Open. Can she do it?
It's gonna be tougher than facing Sloane Stephens. Bartee is gonna be much tougher. But she faces Bartee, right, in the next round. So she would have to go through Bartee. If she can go through Bartee, yes, I give her that.
What are you talking for?
You disagree?
You want to say something?
You disagree, boy.
Huh? What
you disagree with me?
What's you talking about, Willis?
He didn't like that.
What's you talking about, Willis?
She needs to go through Bartee, and then she could possibly win it. Because who's on the other side? We got Cornet. We got Collins. I don't remember who else is on the other side. I got to look.
Okay. I don't think she can do it because of this. She has one gear. She just hits the ball. Now, I do feel like this early part of the year,
that's going to be tough.
She's added a little bit of variety, and I like Madison Keys a lot. I really do. Mm-hmm. It was a hard when she played Sloane Stephens in the 2017 U.S. Open final. It was a match. We watched the match, obviously, and I remember saying, they're friends. We hope it's a good match, and it was a blowout. Wasn't it like 6-3, 6-3, or
apparently
6-3?
She was injured. My friend was there at the U.S. Open. She said they didn't show you guys in camera, but she was injured. They called
right.
Before she even started. She was not good, but she decided to play the final. I think this one's going to be tougher. I think Bartee, she has to go through Bartee. If she can go through Bartee, she has a shot.
Yeah. Either way, it's the one gear thing. She's a big hitter. She strikes the ball big. Sub-Zero wants mom.
By the way, okay, you heard how Justin said Sub-Zero wants mom. By the way, ladies, when you have kids, remember that, when your husband says, oh, I want a baby so bad, so bad, so bad. Remember who takes care of the moms.
I have another dog.
Yeah.
I took care of her.
Yeah, right. It's moms.
No.
Moms do the dirty work.
No, boy dogs follow
moms
the mom around. And then girl dog, that's why I got the girl. So we have a girl too. Wherever she is. Katana. She'll come.
Yeah. But I'm the one that picks up poo. I'm the one.
The puppy training phase?
Yeah. Yeah. Mom.
All right. I don't think she can beat the likes of Bartee, and that match is going to be tonight. I can't wait, by the way. I don't think that she has the variety or the toolbox. I think Madison Keys has a toolbox. She opens it up, and she's got a hammer and a screwdriver. Unfortunately, she has to build a house, and she doesn't even have a saw. So if she's playing with her screwdriver and her hammer and she makes all the shots, she'll win. But if that damn screwdriver can't saw that tree in half, she's jacked. She's done. She's got no shot when it comes to variety. Because if she's hitting the ball big way behind the baseline, like Medvedev, he hits the ball big way behind the baseline. If you bring him forward, he doesn't have such a high percentage. What did Djokovic do to Medvedev in that final, where prior to that final, I said to everyone on this show that Medvedev had no shot because if Djokovic lures him in, he would be vulnerable. And then what did Djokovic say in the pre-match interview prior to that? The interviewer says, "Hey, Novak, how do you feel about your chances today?" "Well, I'll bring him in." Destroyed him, right? But the premise is the same here. Madison Keys doesn't have enough variety to beat Bartee if her screwdriver can't cut the tree down, right? If she can find a way to cut the damn tree down with the screwdriver, she has a shot. And I hope she does, but
maybe she's going to have to end the points quick. I think once you start letting Bartee slice and get into the point, it's going to be tougher for her.
Yeah.
Okay, because I think that Bartee's just going to give her so much variety, and she's used to maybe a flat ball coming back or something with pace coming back.
Jose P asked a good question. Does Bartee have a net game? I don't watch her too often.
I barely see her come to net.
She doesn't come a lot, but she's relatively comfortable there. Mm-hmm. If you just look up some YouTube videos, she has a good way of, when she wants to have like a short angle, she has a way of absorbing the ball and getting it off the court at an angle with touch. And she also has a way of penetrating the volley deep into the court and just putting the point away, or at least forcing the air. Right. She's excellent at that. She's not scared to, but she's like Henin-esque. She's Henin-esque.
I like her.
She's Henin-esque.
I like her.
She's Steffi Graf-ish.
I like her outfit too.
Next question, question number 6. Does Rafael Nadal win major number 21 here in Australia?
I think Medvedev will be tough to beat.
Yeah, I say no.
I don't think so.
Look, let me take that back. Yes. Only because he has so much more experience on the court than anybody else. And he can draw Medvedev in and frustrate him. I'm going to say
a different type of Medvedev from the one Medvedev he played at the U.S. Open.
He's still 27 feet behind the baseline.
He won a slam. He beat Djokovic. I think that helps him going into a slam.
Wah.
Don't you guys think that Medvedev beating Djokovic the way he did at the U.S. Open helps him coming into a slam that's hard court as well?
Maybe. Confidence,
He's
yes.
not going to be tired.
Confidence.
He's a linguini. He's going to be just fine.
Yeah, I think Nadal will win this one. Mm-hmm. And I'm not sure. I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't bet on it, but there's a whole lot of experience there. And Nadal darn well knows Novak Djokovic is
very hard. My hardest. Yes, I know he's good, but I will try very hard to win 21. I'm not 21 anymore, but yes.
Why don't you just speak in real Spanish that you speak anyway?
Because that's how he speaks English. I'm just going to try very hard. No?
Very, very true.
No. What does he say? No. Backwards. He says the English backwards.
Can you give us an example in Spanish?
Like, I don't know what he says. No.
Can you?
I think he's trying to say,
So can you answer the question in Spanish?
I don't want to.
Why? Are you scared?
No,
you got stage fright?
No, but do you know when people say, I think he says, he's trying to say, but he says, no.
Nice. So, all right. So how about the next couple of questions you answer in Spanish? Okay. Answer this question. So Carla just indicated that he will not win his 21st major. I'm not saying he will or won't, but I have a feeling he will because, again, Novak is the returning champion of Roland Garros. He's going to have to come back and face him, Djokovic, that being, with a lot of revenge in his head. In other words, not revenge from the French Open because he won it, but revenge from all the people that, booted him out of Australia and, get lost type of thing. I think there's a chip on Djokovic's shoulder, and I think he'll pound Nadal again there. But it doesn't matter. And I think that Rafa knows that it won't be easy. And hey, why not? I've got some whippersnappers here. I've got Berrettini. I've got Medvedev. I've got Felix Auger. Yeah.
I'm his poppy.
Yeah. So I mean, I think Nadal's in a pretty good place in terms of mentally. We'll see what his body does physically. Okay. So the next question, answer it in Spanish, Carla. It's an easy question. Okay. It's an easy question. You could say yes or no.
Okay.
Question number 7. Does Rafael Nadal end up with 22 majors at the end of Roland Garros?
Es posible.
Si
Novak no recibe la vaccinación, entonces, si no la recibe, sí, puede ser posible.
Okay, continue in Spanish. I
don't want to. Why? Nobody understands it.
It's a shame that we have some of our tennis students, by the way.
But they don't understand it. They don't have to translate it. What I said is if Novak decides not to get vaccinated, 22. If the French Open tells him...
Can I ace before, and I love this. He says this is why he is also called
Vacuna,
Santa
gracias,
Olive.
Jesus.
Get that Santa Olive instead of
is that?
Shop of Olives, Santa Olive, like ho ho
So
ho,
many
take
gifts.
some.
Oh, that was good.
Let's go, Santa Olive.
Yes, vacuna. Thank you. I couldn't remember the
Okay,
word.
so
That's right.
Continue in Spanish, but and let's finish that is either if Rafael Nadal does not win this tournament or not, does Rafael Nadal win the French Open and why in Spanish? Go.
Does he win the French Open?
In Spanish?
Si Novak no juega, sí va a ganar. Sí va a ganar. Sí. I don't know. I don't know how to say everything. I don't know. I'm not thinking in Spanish right now.
You're all right. You look
But
Spanish.
I don't know. I mean, the only person that, in my opinion, that can stop him is Novak. And they are saying that Novak is going to play, but they said the same thing at the Australian Open, and look what happened. I think they need to make the rules kind of like black and white. If you get vaccinated, you play. If you do not, you do not play. Let's not give this guy false hopes. You know what? Why would they give him false hope? What about if he goes into France and the same shit happens?
From what I read earlier, it's set in stone. He's playing.
I hope so.
And we didn't talk before.
I mean, because I read in another article where it said that if Novak doesn't get vaccinated, he will not play the French nor U.S. Open. I just read that article.
As did I, but I did read before we came on. You were writing and I was writing, and I said in my head, I'm not going to say this, but I read that Djokovic is playing Roland Garros, and I think it was from an article by a spokesperson from the French Tennis Federation. By the way,
I hope that he can play. I'm just saying.
I don't think they'll
I would
pull back
hate
on
for
that.
him go to France, and the same bullshit happens.
If that happens
that would
again,
be shitty.
That
would be really shitty.
Tennis can't afford for it to happen twice.
They need to let him play.
I do think, even though I hate to say it, I do think Nadal wins this Australian Open. Yes, I think they'll be by it, just like what was it? Who won the U.S. Open the year that the throat hack? Just like there's an asterisk next.
Wyndham Chia says the rules at the tournaments are not fixed yet. Rules could change depending on the COVID situation.
Fair enough.
Exactly. Another strand and another strand and another strand. I mean, geez, like our kids didn't go to school for a whole week here, and now they're back without masks. How did that make sense? You put them a week to not go to school because you're scared everybody's going to get COVID, but then you send them back with no mask.
And now we got Mardi Gras. Now they're going to be out for another week. Gras.
So, I mean, can we make sense of this shit?
Can we get our kids any dumber? Let's take a week off. Dude's got the sniffles. Next week, it's time for Mardi Gras. Go catch some moon pies.
I agree, Sir John. Carla, that makes no sense because vaccinated people can get COVID. Agree. That's what I'm saying. Spread COVID. So it makes no sense to make Novak. I agree with you, Sir John. I agree with you. That's what I'm saying. That the rules are not, they're not straightforward. They make no sense.
Sir, a question for Surgeon has nothing to do with the show. Let me know. Tell me personally, whatever. Surgeon, question for you. Are you guys worried at all about the potential regional conflict there with in Eastern Europe, namely Ukraine, and 100,000 troops? I know propaganda and how it works, but is there any vibes of war approaching in Eastern Europe geopolitically? I keep up with it, and I know you're in that neck of the woods, so I'm just curious: is there a threat of war there, and what are your thoughts on that? Anyway. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, you didn't interrupt.
So I keep up with geopolitics. I keep up with the sciences, and even though I've long been out of college, I still do try to continue to study and be a student every day. Do I not?
Yes.
My last lecture was on, we talk about artificial intelligence, right? Imagine creating a machine that not only can learn, but what about to create a machine that can think? Think about that. Maybe it's kind of doesn't really strike you as being like exciting, but create something that's
dangerous. That's dangerous,
anyway.
In my opinion.
Check it out. It was on Lex Friedman's podcast like 2 days ago or a week ago. They all run together because I try to watch them all. Okay. Anyway, question number 8. Are you ready for this? Question number 8. If both of the last questions were answered yes, and those questions were, will Rafa win 21 and then 22 at Roland Garros? And in that fashion, does it sit right with you, given the importance of the big three not being there, and furthermore, the crisis that occurred that resulted in Novak Djokovic being kicked out before the tournament started? Would it sit right with you if Nadal ended up with 22 after the French? Meanwhile, Roger and Djokovic at 20. Would it sit right with you?
If Novak played French?
Yes.
If the Novak played,
If nothing, just if Rafael Nadal ended up with 22 majors at the end of the French Open, given the U.S. Open throat hack, given the damn he got ran out like a criminal for no reason, given the fact that if that happens in that, are you going to look back and be like, wait a minute, Nadal has 22, Federer, Djokovic at 20.
Unfortunately,
there's not an asterisk
from
there.
the beginning of the show, we always said numbers always tell the telltale.
Exactly.
So I don't think I could change my view
Exactly.
on that. I always said whoever had the most slams was the GOAT. Did
Yep,
we not always
exactly,
say that? That
exactly.
was our fight?
Yep.
Well, there you go.
And what Carlo's alluding to is not in our generation and not in our children's generation, but in other generations past that. You know, if I wake up tomorrow and talk about Barry Bonds being inducted into the Hall of Fame, hopefully, but doubtfully, but if I'm, you know, 110 years in the future and I'm a 12-year-old and I'm a tennis fan and it will still be proliferating then, and I look back in time, who was the best tennis player of all time? I'm going to look back in the encyclopedia. Instead of Britannica or Wikipedia, it's going to be like 3D holographica. But I'm going to look back there and I'm going to have this robot that comes out and it's like, yes, this is the best player, a nice spherical looking the crystal ball deal right in your face or in your head. I won't get the chip though. I definitely won't get the damn implant. Okay, so I forgot I was going to say. I got lost in the sciences.
Yeah, but we would look at who had the most.
But you're going to look at who has the most slams. So
Yes.
what I'm saying is, if inevitably, thank you for getting me back on track. But if we're looking back at that, is there an asterisk?
No, there isn't. Wang Chi, I agree. Rafa retired with an injury in 2016 French, and Djokovic won. Should Djokovic get less credit? I mean, well put.
Yeah, but that was an injury and not a fictitious kickout.
Well, yeah, but that's not Nadal's fault. That's stupid Australia's fault.
Okay. Anyway.
And then William Spencer says, given Novak has won a few fortunate slams, seems fair enough. I mean, look, to me, I thought that if everyone
Surgeon said it right. I didn't mean to interrupt, but the surgeon says, but nobody stopped Nadal from playing. They do not let Novak play.
I agree. Yes. To me, I always wanted the guys to stay at 20, 20, 20. I said it at the U.S. Open. To me, I would be happy with all three of them staying at 20, 20, 20. That would make me happy because I think that's where they should stay.
I can respect that.
And to me, looking at it, I'm a Nadal fan, but looking at the most beautiful game to me out of the three is definitely Federer. He brought the game to a different level. The way he played, the shots he did, unbelievable. To me, he's like the GOAT of tennis in that way.
Okay.
But the all-around package has to be Djokovic, for sure. And the best clay court player is Nadal, undoubtedly.
Changing to the next question, question number 9. And we can do this one relatively rapidly because we've kind of already talked about it, okay? It was just written earlier. Question number 9, Ashley Bartee plays Madison Keys in the semis. Who wins?
I mean, you got to give it a Bartee. I'm hoping Keys wins. I think Bartee will win in 2 sets.
Same answer.
I think it'll be 6-4, 6-3.
Same answer. Mm-hmm. Somewhere similar.
Yeah.
I think you might have like a 6-3, 7-6. I think it'll be straight sets. Again, and I made the metaphor a little while ago. If Keys shows up and she's hitting a deep ball deep into the court, I'm talking she's clipping the baseline. I don't care necessarily what her angle is, clipping the baseline, pushing Bartee way, 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 way back. And she can throw in some drop shots and then she can go at her. In other words, if she can play very aggressively against Bartee, she can win. But I don't think Bartee gives her that opportunity. I think Bartee's going to slice the backhand a lot, mix it up, make Madison Keys.
I said, Madison Keys has to win the point play.
Madison Keys is going to try to play. In other words, Keys is going to come into the court and hit too big and sail the ball out or into the top of the tape. That's my guess, and I'm probably wrong. I'm great at being wrong.
I'm gonna go back to some of these things because I have to research John's comment, and the reason why I'm gonna read it is because I've been fighting with you guys for years about this. He says, "Ying, no way. If Novak plays at least 2 more years, he's going to have at least 3 Grand Slams."
I agree.
We've been talking about he should have had 4, 5, 6, 7.
If anybody lets him play.
Then my answer to you guys many years ago was, well, life happens. Shit happens. He can get sick. He can get injured. Life can happen. COVID can destroy everything. Look what's happened to him. Hello, nothing's guaranteed. We cannot say that Djokovic will win 3 more, just like you can't say Nadal's going to win 2 more. You just don't know about life. Wang Chia's response is the best. They might just stay at 20 in a few months. The younger ones could even get better. And they are in their 30s. Things deteriorate fast and sudden. Well said, Wang Chia. Nothing is guaranteed in life. Nothing is guaranteed.
I agree with the
We've been
comment.
saying that
However,
Novak should have 24
but what
already.
It's look, I'm willing to take a friendly bet, and not for money, but whatever. If you want me to do a show with whatever on my head or with a shirt off, whatever, I'm not scared to do whatever. Let's make a friendly bet that Novak Djokovic or Rafael Nadal, one of the two, will win another major. You cannot tell me that even though Nadal was not the champion last year of Roland Garros, he's a shoo-in to make a final for a couple more years.
Oh, yeah,
so then you have to look at his only other foe on clay, Djokovic, being healthy in every one of those and playing his. Nadal doesn't have to play his best to make a final at the French if Djokovic is on the other side of the draw. And he can do that for a couple more years. So
I don't think Djokovic will win the French Open because he won it last year.
That doesn't matter. I mean, hasn't Djokovic won 9 Australian Opens?
He was close to losing last year.
That's but he didn't. Shoulda, coulda, woulda.
To me, Djokovic's chances have always been the other three and not Clay. I think
Fair
Clay,
enough.
I've always said it, Clay, he's beatable.
But yet he's won it twice.
And I think, what's his name? Nadal won how many Australian Opens?
1.
And why? Have we looked at how many finals he's gone to?
Well,
it's been against Novak mostly. Right?
Yeah, and I saw a statistic recently that Rafael Nadal is 6-7, 6 wins to 7 losses in quarterfinals.
Well,
and he got that. So now he's 500.
He's lost to many finals. But Novak. If you look at the finals, it's been to Novak mostly. So what does that tell you? I'm just saying, clay is a different animal. Clay people are more beatable if you're a clay specialist. You know what I'm saying? Clay is just, I found now, I used to hate playing on clay. I like it now. Gives you more time to hit the ball.
Yeah, it slows everything down.
It slows everything down. For someone that is a clay player, they understand the game very well, how to be patient. I found shots that I never had before.
Because instead of it being like here, it's like, oh, okay, wait a minute. I have an extra split second.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can set up and unload on. You've been hitting hitting the lines like nothing.
Yeah. Let me go back to another question before. I think someone asked,
good.
What's
Can you take
favorite?
a question while I jump up for a second?
Someone asked, let me go back. Let me do it. What is your favorite EB Buzz? Any favorite tennis brand? As far as shoes, I love Nike shoes. As far as tennis rackets, I use Diadem rackets. Clothes, I love Lululemon and Nike.
And what about our own
in case if anybody wants to send me some. We have our own brand. I guess I'm supposed to say that's my favorite to wear. William Spencer says, big asterisk on the French is Thiem. And if he's back in form, he would be a big threat to either. I'm sorry, William Spencer, but to me, Thiem is done. He just is done. I think mentally he's out of it. Plus his injury hasn't helped him. I just don't see Thiem being a force anymore. I just don't see it. I think I'd give a shot to the other guys. Let's see. Says for Life says, you can say that he will never win, but you can't say that he will never win another slam again. That's not guaranteed either. True. So I said shit happens, and Sir John says, no, this is not shit. People happen. Good point.
That's a good response.
Good point.
That's a great response.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Next question. Here we go. By the way, someone asked a question when I was in there about what your favorite brands.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to say, I have to say.
I'm supposed to say our shirt.
I have to say.
But that's not a brand.
I have to say the new Mirror Lake shirts with the 5K on the sleeve. Anyway, there's a 5K over here on the sleeve.
Am I really going to take off my...
Marlon takes off her shirt. Donate $27.
No, I'm not doing that.
Just kidding. So you got the 5K there. And then it has the Let's Go on the back.
Okay, but I'm not... No.
Okay, it's got Let's Go across the back.
Yeah. If anybody's interested in purchasing those, let me know.
Yeah, let's go. Yeah, I do have shirts left. By the way, if you want one of those shirts, let us know. I won't say cost and all that here, but nonetheless, let us know and we'll get you a shirt. All right. Question number 10. Are you ready for this?
Yeah.
Let's get down. Ric Flair. Woo! Question number 10. Can Ashley Bartee break the curse of Australians not being able to win their own major? Don't forget that no one thought Andy Murray could do so when he broke the curse of Fred Perry being the last Englishman to win Wimbledon. Can Ashley Bartee break the curse?
She can. She has a big possibility here, especially the way she's playing. It's whether she feels the pressure in the final. You know, sometimes people break in the final.
That's what I
Sometimes
wrote.
you're like, what the hell happened?
Yes.
So let's see what happens mentally for her.
Yes.
It might be too much for her in the final.
When exactly same answer. Pressure is okay. So I think the final will happen tonight. I think the final will happen against Keys. Okay. Or someone with the likes of Collins. Bartee is going to match up badly against one of those two if they are using their tools and those only tools that they have.
Mm-hmm.
Hitting the ball big with a screwdriver and a hammer, Keys. Collins having the same keys. However, she adds a bitchy element.
Mm-hmm.
She tries to get at you psychologically.
Mm-hmm.
I think Bartee is able to overcome both of those, but we'll see.
Yeah.
Okay, fill in the blank. Question number 11, fill in the blank. Okay, Carla and all of you. And I would love to see all your answers on this. I would like to read like 10. Come on. And
I definitely do not hope Kanepi or Cornet wins the title.
Agreed.
Nope.
Agreed.
That would be terrible for tennis.
Yes, and it would be terrible for nose plastic surgeons because Cornet's nose.
No, that would be terrible for tennis. It'll make the women's.
Yeah.
Even think you would have to think more about the tour. Wow, that week. No,
I agree.
Not.
I agree. No. If we have a women's final where Kanepi is playing Cornet in the final,
no.
I would watch it out of respect.
No, I wouldn't watch it.
Did any?
Just like I didn't really watch Raducanu and Fernandez. I wasn't interested.
Okay, this is
I know it's their last chance, but they are not the type of quality player that should win a slam.
This is a topic that was not written, and you just came up with it. Great job. What are some finals in men's and women's tennis over time? We're 44 and 42. We've watched finals since we were born. Mm-hmm. Within 40 years, what are some of the finals in men's and women's majors that you just could care less about watching or didn't watch?
TM and Zverev was one. Panetta and
Vinci
was another one.
I did not even turn it on.
There was one with Dementieva and the other Russian player Miskina. That was a boring U.S. Open final.
Let's go, Mike Walker. Where you at, man?
Dementieva couldn't even serve the ball. I mean, she never knew how to only slam.
What year was that? Like 80?
2000 and something.
Miskina?
Yeah, Miskina and Dementieva. Look it up if you guys remember.
I'm thinking Miskina last name. Dementieva, yeah.
Versus Miskina. Yeah, no, the bad match. I'm trying to think of other finals that I just did not care to watch.
What were some of the matches that you didn't care to watch that ended up being epic finals?
Soderlund and Federer, watching Federer cry, fake tears. Well, he should have won it. He plays Soderlund. Gabriel. Cilic and Federer. Cilic wasn't even there after the first set. I didn't care to watch any more of it.
He cried.
Yeah, I actually enjoyed watching Schiavone against Dozier. I thought that was
that was a good match. I was heartfelt. I was in Vermont there.
The other one was Bartoli against Lisicki. I thought Lisicki should have won that, and it would have changed her whole career. And watching big ass Bartoli win it with two hands
and the long racket with
the worst thing a coach can see, just awful tennis. No. It destroyed women's Wimbledon final.
Do you remember a match on the men's side at the French Open many years ago that no one wanted to watch hypothetically before it started, and it ended up being one of the most epic matches ever? Was it Gaudio? Gaston Gaudio played.
Oh, Coria.
Yeah,
I thought Coria had that.
Yeah, Coria and Gaudio. Everybody was like, man, at least in our clique at that point in time, was like, I don't really want to watch this. Okay, I mean, we did. And then it ended up being this epic freaking match, right?
Safina, I think, reached the final of the French Open playing Ivanovic. Ivanovic won that. I think that's the Grand Slam she won. Good point, Joanna Sa, but Murray is a Scot, not English, so the curse is still on.
Good knowledge.
Very true. I was about to tell that. That's why I laugh when they're like, it's over.
Good job. Don't forget the movie Braveheart. Murray is. Anyway, but he cries a lot, so he's not quite on par with the guy. What's his name? What's the Braveheart guy's name? William Wallace.
Let's go. Mel Gibson played it.
You can tell my order out.
Yinghao said, "Who's the biggest choker of all time? Is it an Albanian?" I think Jana Novotná, when she played against Steffi Graf, that was the biggest choking of all time. And then she won her slam finally.
Look, there's a couple of Spanish players, or at least I think Albanian's Argentinian and David Ferrer Spanish, but they're Spanish people, Spanish players. Two of the best players ever that never won majors, and we can't forget about Tomas Berdych, by the way, if you guys know who Tomas Berdych is. But I think Ferrer, Nalbandian, and Berdych are three of those guys that could have very well won majors, right?
Yeah. I was laughing because William Spencer said, worst final of my life. Sabine losing to that backhand. Laugh out loud.
Exactly.
And it changed her career. Oh, yeah. Roddick choked too, Wayne Chia at Wimbledon.
Oh, yeah.
At Wimbledon. I'm like, he had it.
Well, 9-7 in the fifth, right? Federer. Oh, and by the way, and this is for anybody that are Mirror Lake guests or members. So when you go in our office, right, and you go in the pro shop, you go in and there's a chair sitting there, and I left my shirt there for days. It's like a gold Nike shirt, and it has my USNTA coaching logo on it. I just leave it there in case it gets hot, strife it, I'll throw it on. But what shirt is that? It's the shirt from the 2009 final where Federer beat Roddick, and then he put on his sweater. Do you remember he had like a hand sewn sweater, sleeveless, and he had this gold shirt with a gold trim around it? Mm-hmm. I have that shirt. I've had people ask me for it forever, and I've seen eyes wander on it around like locker rooms with a lot of people in it. So I ended up sewing my patch on it because I felt like it was going to get sniped from me, right? These things without the patch go for like $400, right? Mm-hmm. So I put my patch on it so it'd be worthless to anyone else but me. But yeah, you remember that though, right?
Yeah, it's cringing.
Yeah, and he had the long white trousers on.
That was cringing.
He had the long white trousers. He had the long white shirt. He had the sweater.
That's when I hated him.
Let's go.
Hey, what's up, Chuku? Come on, man. Don't let Djokovic. Look, if you are a true tennis fan, for all you Djokovic lovers out there that are obsessed with Djokovic, look, I feel bad for him. I really think it's shitty what happened to him. But come on, for you guys not to watch tennis because of that is a shame. Just saying. Then you're not tennis fans. Just saying. Yep, I would have to agree. Coria is the biggest choker.
Yeah.
Thinking about it now, he is the biggest choker.
Yes.
That changed his whole tennis
He was
career.
up 2-0, right?
Yeah.
Wasn't he up 2 sets?
Yeah.
And then lost it in 5?
Yeah, Safina, good point. William Spencer lost 3 finals to 2008, 2009. She never won a set. Yeah, yep.
Okay, question number 11. Here we go. Question number 11.